NFL Week 7 best bets are on the way. We're going to go through every single game on Sunday and 2 Monday night games. Give our favorite spread, total, money line pick on every single game. We're not allowed to skip. No skipping here. We're going to go through every game. So if you're curious about your favorite team, I encourage you can jump around in the video. Every pick is timestamped down below. Tap into it if you just want to jump around to different games. We don't blame you. You can do that. As always, it is Austin joined by Logan. Logan, last week, I got to be honest with you. We need better from you. 4-9 week. What is that? I went 8-5. Logan was on the bad side of a lot of sharp traps, and they got him. Right now, though, it's been a very good season for us. Even with your bad week, Logan, still 47-38. I did a small leap over you at 49-36. We've done really well on our spreads, totals, money lines in every game. It's not hard to bet every single game, but we're somehow doing a great job doing it. And hopefully we can have another great week 7. But as always, we start the video talking about just a question. And then we'll dive into the picks. If you just want to jump around into the picks, you certainly can do that. But this week, Logan, we're talking about our power rankings. We're obviously at the end of week 6, now in week 7. We're going to revisit these power rankings in 10 or so weeks at the end of the season, see how they flip-flop. I'm going to let you lead things off. I have not seen your list. I'm curious how it overlaps with mine. Who are your top 5 teams? And I'll put them all up on the screen at the same time. So go through them. Who's your power ranking top 5?
Yeah, so I don't know how you were envisioning this, but I envision it. We'll start at 5 and we'll work our way up the list. Starting at 5, I think it's the Houston Texans, sitting at 5-1 record-wise. The reason they're not higher on this list is just because I have to see it over the course of a season. I have to see it really to believe it in the postseason as well. Obviously, a younger team. I love what they're doing. Stephon Diggs. I would like to see Nico Collins get healthy again to just add that explosive element of the offense. But they look good. They take care of business when they need to. I like the Houston Texans at 5. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills at 4-2. Obviously, they have one more loss than the Texans, but the Buffalo Bills are a team that I envision can be there in the AFC Championships, kind of in that end of late playoff run. We know what Josh Allen is capable of doing, and now you add another weapon for Josh Allen in Amari Cooper. Love that deal for the Buffalo Bills. I think that adding another playmaker like that is exactly what they need. I like Buffalo's trajectory. I think they're sitting at a comfortable 4 spot. And then number 3, it's going to be Lamar and the Ravens sitting at 4-2. I like the Ravens. I think they're solid. They're a team that definitely has what it takes to make it to the Super Bowl. I just have a few question marks, especially on the coaching side, because I think Harbaugh makes a few boneheaded decisions, especially with clock management. We've seen that time and time again. I like to see them getting Mark Andrews involved. That offense is one step even better with Mark Andrews involved, and Zay Flowers is definitely looking good too. I like them at 3. And then that 1 and 2 is where it could get a little controversial, because at number 2, I have the Super Bowl champion, the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs at 5-0. Look, I know it's a little controversial, putting the Chiefs there. You got to beat the team to really knock them off, but I still think the Chiefs have a little bit of vulnerability there on the season. Kansas City, obviously, we know what they're capable of defensively, because that's where they've really taken a step up this year. But offensively, I still have a few question marks. They're still elite. They're still a team that you don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. But there's a team I like better than them. It's the Detroit Lions. I like them at the number 1 spot right now. Coming off a massive victory, a blowout in Dallas, embarrassing the Cowboys at home, straight up just toying with their food in that one. What I like about Detroit is they have the capable playmakers to stretch the field in Jameson Williams down the field. And then what they really do best is running the ball with 2 of the best running backs in the game in Montgomery and Gibbs. Really, I don't know how you stop the Lions offensively and defensively. They're certainly capable of playing against anybody. I like the Lions a lot at the number 1 spot. Detroit Lions, embrace me with your fandom right now. I like them to top out my power rankings. But Austin, I'm curious who you got in yours.
Yeah, I was scared ours were going to be identicals because mine started with the Texans at number 5 as well. A couple teams almost made that list. I actually had the Vikings first, and then I bumped them out because I have PTSD of Sam Darnold. Sue me. I have the whole screen up on the list, so I won't a whole list up on the screen. I have the 49ers at number 4. I have the Lions at 3. The Ravens at 2 and the Chiefs at number 1. Chiefs obviously haven't looked great this season offensively, but Pat Mahomes, I cannot drop him from that spot until they lose. They've been super good. As for the Ravens at number 2, I've liked what I've seen from the addition of Derrick Henry. Another year under Lamar Jackson's belt. That offense is looking good. Defense still has some work to do. Lions at 3. You could argue the Lions could be higher on my list. I just think they are very talented. question marks on that defensive side of the ball. And the 49ers at number 4. I kind of going out of order, but you get what I'm saying. I still think the 49ers are a really talented team. Really like Brock Purdy. Really like that offense. Had a lot of injuries, some bad beats here and there. I think this is a team that will round into form. Haven't looked as good as they have in the preseason or in the regular season as we've seen in years past, but it's still a team at the end of the day should be there and should win that division. So those are my top 5. I'm curious, Logan, though. Why did the 49ers not make your list? Then we'll dive into our favorite picks of this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why the Niners didn't make my list is just because I think all these teams are a little bit more explosive offensively. I mean, you can argue with me there. Christian McCaffrey is what really comes to mind. He is exceptional. He is a top 5 running back in the league when healthy, and I just don't think Jordan Mason's going to be able to carry them quite the way they need to. I mean, they're obviously talented with Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Ayuk, but again, those guys are all guys that I could see getting banged up as well. The Niners defense also, I've said it all throughout the year, I think they're not as elite as they have been in years past. They've shown a few weaknesses, especially in that secondary, so I just couldn't quite put them in my top 5. Of course, they would be 6. Slightly disrespectful, but that's kind of where I'm at in them.
Yeah, I totally get it. They've dealt with a lot of injuries, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We'll revisit our top 5 in about 10 or so weeks. But let's dive into the picks. This week, we are using every single odds from BetMGM. So if you've never signed up for BetMGM, I encourage you to go down below, use the link. You can deposit $10, bet $10, you get $200 in bonus bets. So take advantage of that. You get some more money to play with in the NFL, more money to play with in the NBA, which starts in just a few days. I encourage you to tap in. That link is down below in the description. But Logan, people came in for picks. Let's not waste any more of their time. We're heading out to London for, I believe, the final game of the London trio. We've had 3 straight weeks of waking up to honestly not great football. Let's be honest. 2 weeks ago, we had Jets Vikings. That game was not great. Was get better as the game went on. Last week, Bears Jags. Yeah, no, you probably didn't even have to watch that one. Again, we have the Jaguars playing host to the New England Patriots, who now have Drake May starting at QB. Pretty good week for him last week, although a lot of garbage time in there. Right now, you have the Jags laying 5.5. I don't know how to comment on that. Over under 42.5. Logan, I'm gonna let you lead things off in London. Where would you go for this one?
Of course, you're letting me lead off on the game.
I want to see what you got to say, man.
The fact that we kind of have to give our leans in all these games, we're gonna like games better than others, right? This is definitely on the lowest on my card. Maybe I probably wouldn't even bet it, but if I were to have to bet a side, just ultimate pressure, I'd have to take New England with the points. Jacksonville is just a fraud. They're a team that's just going to steal your money. I don't care how sharp they look, because they looked sharp last week, right? Yeah, the absolute terrible team. I really question if Peterson still has that locker room too. I think Drake May is going to inject a little bit of life into this New England team, and that's why I'll take them with the points if I were to take a side in this game. I think that having a full week of a start under his belt, they were able to move the ball, and I think what people are going to realize is Drake May is more of a dual threat than we really realize. I mean, he's not Lamar. Don't get him confused for Lamar, but he's going to be able to make some plays on the ground, and that Jags defense is trash. It might be the worst defense in the league. Not hard to move the ball on them. Give me New England plus the points.
Yeah, I rode the over so far in both games in London. We're 1-1, and I need that rubber match. I'll take the over once again. Give it to me. All 3 London overs. We're at least going to hit 2 of 3. Logan, that Jags defense might be worst in the league. They got guys, their safeties are saying team's quitting. I don't know how they're going to buy in here again. They're being stuck in London another week. That team stinks. And I agree with you. I think Drake May is a guy that can extend those plays, but he's also not afraid to take some deep shots, something Jacoby Brissett was literally afraid of. You didn't even have to game plan 20 yards past the line of scrimmage. He wasn't throwing it there. I like Drake May being able to throw it to some younger guys down there. We'll see if they can make some plays. Give me the over at 42.5. Like both these two offenses, I think can put up points. And I'm not really afraid of that New England defense a ton. So I like the over in that game at 42.5. But Logan, let's keep things moving. We got the 1 p.m. slate. We're starting with a doozy. Vikings playing host, the undefeated Vikings playing host to the Detroit Lions. Right now, you got the Vikings at about minus 120 on the money line and over under at 50.5. I want to say this is tied for the highest on the board. I can lead things off here. I'm taking the Vikings. I'm going to take them. I've taken them a few times. Obviously, last week we're on a bye week. I think I took them the week. No, I didn't. I took the over in their London game, but I rode with them against the Packers and they came through. Lions, I know they're in your top 5, Logan. I think this is a good spot to fade them. What do the Lions want to do? They want to run the football. you can't really run on the Vikings defense. They are one of the teams that average like the top 5 fewest rushing yards per attempt. I think you'll see them stop the run. I think you'll see them blitz Jared Goff like it's going out of style. And I think Jared Goff might make a mistake or two, or heck, he'll just be running around or just throwing it away. I don't love this matchup for the Lions at all. At home, you'll be seeing the Skull chant all game long. Vikings money line, give it to me. I'm taking it. But Logan, what do you like here?
It's so criminal of me to go against the team I just power ranked number 1, but I agree with you. Vikings weren't even in my top 5, but this is a complete line read, and this is a spot that, again, Detroit riding really high off that win in Dallas, a game that wasn't even competitive. Now you get a divisional game in Minnesota with what you mentioned, a really good home crowd there in Minnesota. Yeah, Detroit definitely has some question marks defensively, and that's where I think Sam Darnold can really thrive. They know how to get those guys involved, those pass catchers involved for Minnesota. And then, as you mentioned, if I'm Minnesota's defense, what I'm doing is I'm selling out. I'm selling out against Montgomery. I'm selling out against Gibbs. I think they're going to turn Jared Goff into a short check down guy. He's not going to be able to get those explosive plays down the field like he did last week to Jamison Williams. I really do think this is a Vikings win in this one. We saw a lot of road teams win in spots that they were kind of like favored. This being a pick 'em this week, I'm feeling Minnesota with you on that one.
Hey, heck yeah! Let's do the Skull chant together. Skull. that's gonna look good. That'll look great. Let's keep it moving, Logan. We're heading out to East Rutherford with the New York Giants play hosts to the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, I got the Eagles laying 3.5, coming off a big victory against the Browns. It was closer than it probably should have been, but hey, they got the win there. And you got an over/under sitting at 42.5. You obviously are our Philadelphia native, not really, but you live there. I'm gonna let you lead things off. Do you think the Eagles go into East Rutherford and get the dub and cover, or you like the Giants, or you like an over/under? What do you like here?
Yeah, I'm leaning Eagles in this one. Definitely not, again, 10 out of 10 strong pick, but there's just no way I can really back the Giants in this spot because we know, the Eagles kind of have their number. I think they're going to be able to, shut down that New York passing attack that last week. I thought there's certainly some advantages there last week against Cincinnati, and they really didn't show up at all. I mean, they looked bad, and that was at home, and then they're once again at home in this spot. Again, Philadelphia finally getting some guys back off of injury. They were a mash unit for most of the season. This is a step up spot for the Giants, and I just don't see them being able to really compete here. I mean, Joe Burrow went into MetLife, had his way. I think Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, all those guys will be able to do the same. And you got also what we have to talk about. This is Saquon coming back to MetLife too. He's going to be extra fired up. That Eagles team is going to be motivated to get a win for Saquon. Give me the Eagles and I'll lay the points.
Yeah, if I had to actually bet a spread, I lean the Eagles, but I actually like the over a lot at 42.5. I think people are overlooking the fact the Giants defense, I don't know what the most points they've given up. They've been looking like a pretty good unit so far this season, but they've faced a lot of pretty bad offenses. We're talking about the Bengals just couldn't convert in the red zone last week. Neither could the Giants. Kept going for it on 4th down. It kept turning it over. I don't know what that was. The Seahawks, not the greatest offense. I think this is a spot where we see the Eagles put up a lot of points. I think they could put up 28 or more. And I think Daniel Jones and that offense can put up points on the Eagles. I don't think this Eagles defense is that good. We saw Deshaun Watson look like former, 2018 Deshaun Watson in that second half. I'm not saying Daniel Jones looks like the GOAT, but he's getting Malik Neighbors back. They got Darius Slayton going. They got Wan'Dale Robinson, Devin Singletary, and Tyrone Tracy. I think Devin Singletary should be back here. I like the over. I think it's a higher scoring game. I think this is one where we see like a 28-21 type final. I think this could get into the 50s for final points. So I really like the over at 42.5. Let's keep things moving as the Tennessee Titans, led by Will Levis, go into Orchard Park, take on the Buffalo Bills. This is the biggest spread of the weekend, as the Bills are 9.5 point favorites, over under at 41. I will be taking the Buffalo Bills minus 9.5. When the Bills go at home and they have a big number, they cover. They win by 10 plus points. That's what the Bills do. They beat up on trash teams, and the Titans are the definition of a trash team. They stink. Will Levis stinks. He needs to get benched eventually for Mason Rudolph if this team wants any success. I think this is a big Bills victory. Sure, they're coming off on a short rest on Monday night, coming off that win against the Jets. They didn't look great. They arguably could have lost that game, but the Jets did what they do. They jetted around and lost. What we do. I like this, though, in the Bills in a big way. I think they stomp all over the Tennessee Titans. Big number. I'll lay the points. Give me Buffalo Bills minus 9.5. Logan, you want to step out on a limb with some Titans plus money?
No, I won't be touching the Titans. I won't be touching the spread in this one, but I actually am going to lean the under. And it's just, I think it's a bad spot for Mayo Man on the road. Mr. I can't take care of the ball, Will Levis. Will Levis, for all the points you said, he just hasn't looked sharp. That Titans offense, you got DeAndre Hopkins. Please get him out of there, right? He's just coming over the sideline, shaking his head, frustrated. I mean, they're going to try to lean on Tony Pollard, I'd imagine, to keep it close in this game. But I just see Buffalo being able to pull away, and Tennessee not really being able to contribute a lot to that total. I think Buffalo can definitely, they can be up by several scores. Just kind of let their foot off the gas and just kind of coast with James Cook. They definitely have that, a few checkdowns to Knox and Kincaid. I see an under in this one. I think it's actually a surprisingly lower total than I'd expect. I was expecting, mid 40s, or especially with a Bills team that we saw the Jets were still able to move the ball on them. I think they tighten up a little bit, pun intended, and I think they cashed the under in that one.
That was a nice one. That was pretty sharp.
Yeah.
You can't beat that, kid. You can't beat that. I'll keep moving as we have a divisional showdown, AFC North battle here as the Cincinnati Bengals head into Cleveland, where they're going to take on the Browns, who the Browns, they got a lot of things going for them, and a lot are not going right. But hey, we'll see if Jameis Winston starts after this game. Deshaun is basically on the brink of getting benched. I'll be honest, Jameis starting would be kind of fun. It'd be kind of cool. I don't think it would yield to a lot of success, but it'd be fun, and that's what we're here for. National Fun League. The Browns are currently 5.5-point underdogs, though, at home. Over under at 41.5. I'm going to take the Browns again. I took them last week at plus 5.5. I hate it, but I don't think the Bengals are any good. I think their defense stinks. The Giants could have scored a lot more points than them last week, but the Giants stink. And Deshaun got things going in that second half. Amari Cooper has been kind of a disgruntled. I think maybe getting him, shipping him off, might not honestly be the worst thing in the world because they were wasting a lot of throws deep to him. Either Deshaun wasn't connecting, Amari Cooper was dropping it. I think this is a sneaky David Njoku week. I'm not going to bet him because he's on my fantasy team and I need a big week from him. I might actually bet him. I don't know. I think Njoku could potentially go over 100 yards. Spoiler. But I really like Njoku this week. I think this is a big Browns victory. Or not victory. I don't know if they won this game. Nick Chubb, though, should be coming back here. And I think that will provide some juice for this offense. I like the Browns plus the points. Plus 5.5. Give it to me. Logan, what do you like here?
I hate agreeing with you on this nasty one, but yeah, give me the Browns.
Oh man, don't join me on the Browns, man. You hated on them last week.
I know.
We don't want you. We don't want you.
I see your vision, and I like a lot of the points you just hit on. Especially, you get rid of a disgruntled superstar, you ship him off, and now you get to play football with one less distraction. And in addition to the subtraction, you're getting Nick Chubb back potentially. I think he'll probably play in that one. So
he should be.
Yeah, so he'll suit up. He should play for the Browns. So you're getting back the heart and soul to me of that Browns offense, which is Nick Chubb, and it should take pressure off of Deshaun Watson because I agree with you. If you're watching any Browns football, I think he was trying to force Amari Cooper a lot of those throws. That's just not when Deshaun Watson's best. He's best when he can just kind of drop back in the pocket and do what he needs to do. And I think I like your angle with Njoku, and I also like your angle with really Cincinnati last week. There was a lot of wasted chances for the Giants. I think Cleveland converts on a few of those red zone trips that we saw New York not be able to. I could see a Browns outright win if I'm being straight up honest with you.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if I'm being honest. 5.5 is a big number. I think this opened at closer to 3.5. So it's obviously been bet up here. We'll take the Browns plus the points. Next game, Logan, should be a high scoring game here in Green Bay as we have the Texans on the road taking on the Packers. Packers are laying about -3, -150 on the money line. I'll let you lead things off here because this is a tricky little game here. What do you like in this contest and why?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Packers. I like them, and I'll lay the -3 in this one. The Packers are one of those teams that I've sort of been gravitating towards. I mean, Jordan Love looks great offensively. We know what he's able to do. They're not really, they don't involve Josh Jacobs as much. You and I were talking off air about this. They don't really involve Josh Jacobs a whole lot, but guess what? You don't really need to. When you're getting production out of the Dontavian Wickses, the Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, all those guys like that, I think they are going to present a lot of challenges for a Texans team that, playing in Lambeau Field, I honestly don't see them coming away with a win in this one. So the question is, can Green Bay just cover? And all they have to do is lay a field goal in this one. I do like them. I think Green Bay's defense also isn't really talked about enough. I think they're certainly one of the better units in football. They have a lot of guys that just know how to take away. I feel like Green Bay is top of the league in turnover and takeaways. You have to fact check me on that one, but it feels like every time I'm turning it on, their defense is causing turnovers, and I like that against CJ Stroud. Give me the Packers and lay the points in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to actually fade you. I'm taking the Texans plus the points. I'll take them plus 3. I think they win this game outright. I'm not bought in on the Packers. I think this team passes it too much, and I think that plays in the hand of the Texans. I think they're really good at forcing pressure, getting Jordan Love uncomfortable. I think he'll turn over the ball, and CJ Stroud, one of the best QBs at keeping the ball away from the opposing team. Sure, we're down Nico Collins. I don't care. I think Green Bay's defense, fraud watch. Put them on fraud watch. They aren't good. They've just faced a lot of trash teams. They looked good last week against the Cardinals, who also could be put on fraud watch. We're down Marvin Harrison, their best wide receiver after the first quarter. I love the Texans. I think they win this game outright. I'll take the plus 3, but I'm fading you. No. Packers, they cost me coin last week when I had the over, and they turned it over in the red zone to cash my over in the fourth. I'm getting my lick back. I'm fading them. Give me the Texans plus the 3. How you feel about that, Logan? Let's keep things moving to the Battle of the Birds in Atlanta as the Falcons play host to the Seahawks. As the Falcons, a similar spread as the Packers game, -3. Over under 50.5, again tied for the tops with that Vikings-Lions game. Captain Kirko has looked pretty good, Logan. Geno Smith hasn't looked great, but they've been all right. What do you like here in this one? Because I think it's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those totals that's set high, and I don't think it can be set high enough. Give me the over 50.5. I just think both these teams, it's really going to be a battle of touchdowns, not field goals. I say it pretty much every week. I'm like a broken record. But in the NFL, you're going to have teams that are going to be able to convert in the red zone, and you're going to have teams that are just settling for field goals. I think both these teams are actually able to convert. I think if you're looking at Seattle, they just have too many talented receivers. This is something Atlanta did not see last week with Carolina. I mean, love Deontay Johnson playing his heart out for the Panthers. They don't have offensive talent. Like, it's just what it is. This is a huge, sort of step up matchup for the Falcons defense, and I don't really see them being able to get a whole lot of stops. And then on the other side, you look at Kirk Cousins. I mean, what do they just hang? They hang like 38 on the Panthers. I mean, they are rolling. They're not looking back. I think they're finally starting to use guys like London, Pitts. They're using guys like that properly. And then if you're involving Bijan Robinson, you're using him in the red zone. I love what I saw from Bijan last week with a couple of touchdowns. All signs in this one, Austin, are pointing to an over for me. So give me the over 50.5.
Yeah, I love the over pick that you went with. I would take it with you, but I don't want to double down on that. Give me the Seahawks plus the points. Captain Kirk has looked great the last few weeks. I'll give him credit. I think this is a tough secondary to face in the Seahawks. I think they might force a turnover or two, and I think that could be the difference here. Geno Smith, I think, will have a massive game. Look for DK Metcalf to be doing some sort of dances in the end zone. He'll get in there. And I think that when push comes to shove, you get to the fourth quarter, you need to put this game away. I think that's when Kenneth Walker steps up, and I think they can run the ball against the Falcons, something they haven't really seen a ton. Chuba Hubbard had some good success last week. I think Seahawks, coming off that long week where they had that game against the 49ers, obviously didn't look great in that game. They got ran all over by that 49ers mass unit at running back. Jordan Mason left that game early. I really like the Seahawks plus the points. I'll buy them to 3.5 because I don't want to take the 3. I'd rather just buy an extra half. I'll take them plus 3.5. I like that. But I also like your over. I think the Seahawks contribute a lot of points to that over, and I agree. I think that's super high total. Speaking of high-powered offenses, let's move on as we have the Miami Dolphins heading into Indianapolis, where Anthony Richardson appears to be making his return at QB. Logan, I won't even talk about the lines. I'll take the under. Tyler Huntley stinks. He stinks. And while the Colts defense is not good, Tyler Huntley can neutralize them not being great. And Anthony Richardson, I've talked about him before. I just don't think he's that great of a QB. And they also sneakily think this Dolphins defense is actually pretty good. They've had 2 weeks to prepare, coming off a bye week. Anthony Richardson, how healthy will he be? I don't know. They're still likely down Jonathan Taylor. Their running game has not done anything, really, and they've been relying on Joe Flacco to throw it a ton, to Josh Downs and guys like that. I just don't think Anthony Richardson can consistently get conversions on third down. He just is always trying to make a home run play, and well, that's great. Only that works great against the Miami Dolphins team that's been really good defensively. So that's the only reason they've been in games, really, because their offense has been pretty bad since Tua went down. I like the under at 43.5. I'm honestly surprised at 43.5. I was expecting a 39.5, but hey, I'll take it. Give me the under. Good CLV there. Logan, what do you like?
Yeah, I mean, I see the game probably playing out total-wise is what you said. But my lean would be a nasty Dolphins plus 3 in this one. I really do think the Dolphins are going to hang around in this one, potentially even win this one outright. It's, to me, the key is what you've already kind of hit on, the extra week of rest and preparation for Miami. You know, you get You get Huntley in there. He obviously that it takes time for him to gel with that offense. They're finally going to figure things out in this one. Also, if you're looking at matchups, you mentioned the Dolphins defense is good. Yes, where they really struggle though is stopping the run. Well, here's a Colts team that's going to be down Jonathan Taylor most likely. I mean, he could pull out a miracle performance, but I think it's going to be more likely than not Trey Sermon. And Trey Sermon is not the power back, or not the type of runner that Jonathan Taylor is. I think that's a key that we're kind of overlooking in that one. And again, you got Anthony Richardson. What is Anthony Richardson? I mean, he's a guy that makes a few reads, and if his reads aren't there, he wants to take off. Don't you think the Miami defense is going to know that? Don't you think they're going to be able to game plan for that? I think they will. I think Miami hangs around, and give me the points in that one.
I agree with you. If I had to bet anything, it'd be Dolphins in there as well. Now we move to the 4 o'clock window. Well, I'll be honest, the 4 o'clock window is not great this week. And it begins with your Carolina Panthers going on the road, taking on the Commanders. Commanders are 7.5, 8.5 point favorites. Someone can go look up when the last time the Washington Commanders were more than a touchdown favorite. I don't know if that's say Commanders have looked good or the Panthers have looked bad. Maybe it's a combo of both of those two things. But Logan, you're a Panthers fan. That's the highest total on the board. What are you feeling here?
This is a game that's kind of putting my mind in a pretzel, because I'm like, I've been trying to get cute, take the Panthers with points. Absolutely cooked me last week. Like, what are you doing, Logan, in that spot? But I'm just looking at this one and I'm like, that's a lot of points to lay with the Commanders. I mean, could the back door be crept open for Carolina? I'm thinking so. Hurt me one more time, Carolina Panthers. Give me Carolina plus the 7.5. Austin with his head in his hands. I mean, this one's a nasty pick, but it really just comes down to, can I think Carolina hangs around in this one? I think they can. Last week, they got absolutely blitzed by Kirk Cousins. I think they're going to have a little something for Jaden Daniels in this one. It's hard to stop. His connection with Terry McLaurin is very hard to stop. But I think Carolina's going to be able to probably shadow coverage, Terry, make Jaden Daniels have to beat him on the ground. And I just think Chuba Hubbard in this offense, maybe they'll get Jonathan Brooks back. I don't know. That's kind of a question mark when he is finally healthy. But I still think this Carolina Panthers team is good enough to just hang around, keep this one within one possession. I'm not asking for a whole lot, but I mean, laying that many points with the Commanders, I know they're good record-wise, but I could see maybe them overlooking a bad Panthers team in this one.
Yeah, this is nasty. I've been looking at this game. I'm like, Deontay Johnson is a question mark here. He is questionable. He's not practiced on Wednesday or Thursday. And I think he's a big difference maker here. I think if he plays, I'd be more inclined to take the Panthers. But I'll take the under here, 51.5. No one's going to bet the under here. Who the heck wants to bet an under involving the Panthers? I will. I'll take the under. I hate it. I won't lie to you. I hate it. But I think the Commanders secondary can do something. And I agree with you. I think J.C. Horn will have a big day against Terry McLaurin, follow him around, and you're going to force Jaden Daniels to throw it to his other guys. I honestly don't love any of his other pass catchers. Sure, maybe Zach Ertz, maybe the McCaffrey other guy. I don't love that. So I think this is actually a lower scoring game. Everyone will be on the over, because who doesn't want the highest over on the board? I'll take the under, 51.5. I think this is just like your Bengals-Giants under, Logan, last week. Everyone was on the over there, expecting a lot of fireworks. That one soared under. This could be another one that soars under. We just see a disaster class of some football. So give me the under, 51.5, a huge total. Another 4 o'clock game. The Raiders are on the road in Inglewood, taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Rams are 7-point favorites, I believe, coming off their bye, if I'm not mistaken. Over under 43.5. I've gone back and forth in this game, Logan. I don't really like either of these two teams, if I'm being honest. I haven't seen much from either of these. What do you like here? Is there anything that, I mean, this would be on bottom of my totem pole as the games I like, but it's in the 4 o'clock window. There's only 3 games. This is one of them. So what do you like here?
Yeah, the 4 o'clock window this Sunday's challenging, to say the least.
They really just saved it all for one game, which we're about to get to. It's like, all right, everyone's going to be watching that game, so screw the other ones, it feels like.
Yeah, and this one is tough, but I'm going to have to lean the under. And it's just to me, it's a bad spot for the Raiders, going on the road in this one. Led by Aiden O'Connell, now down Devontae Adams, shipped him off. Again, they could play a little more inspired offensively, maybe, but I don't think they're a very good unit. I don't really know what their identity is. Are they a run the ball type team? Are they a throw? I don't know. And with Aiden O'Connell, I'm not paying to figure it out. I'll just go ahead and fade him, take an under. I still think Vegas can play some good defense in the red zone where it really counts. Is Cooper Kupp back in this one? I believe he might be. Yeah, so Cooper Kupp back, that's obviously a big boost for the Rams, which is why they are, laying the 7 in this one. But they're going to lead a lot on the running game, and I think that's going to chew a lot of the clock in this one. I do not see a shootout brewing. Give me the under in this one. I think it's a snooze fest.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams minus the points. Here's what my strategy is going to be. I'm going to take the Rams. They're going to smoke the Raiders. And then next week, I'm going to be on the Raiders when they face the Chiefs. They're going to be getting so many points at home. They might win that game outright. No one's betting the Chiefs or the Raiders next week. That is my strategy. So I need to cash here with the Rams minus the 7. It's nasty. I wish you could get a 6.5, but I don't think you can. I'll take the 7. I think they can come in here. Established business coming off a bye. I think McVay will get the offense ready to go. Kyron Williams should have a day. And I think when we get to the red zone, hopefully they can convert a touchdown or two with Cooper Kupp being back. Obviously, those younger guys getting some reps too. And that Raiders offense is disgusting. I don't know how you trust it. They can't run the football and they can't pass the football. What the heck can they do? I don't know if they can do anything, if I'm being honest. And I know Brock Bowers was supposed to be drafted by the Rams. I know they wanted to draft him. So we'll see if he does anything there. But I don't care. Give me the Rams minus the points. Nasty, but I don't care. It's a winner. Finally, the only game that the NFL seems to care about in the 4 o'clock window, and that would be the Chiefs going on the road into Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Right now, you got the Chiefs as slight underdogs, -2 for the 49ers, -125 on the money line, over under 47.5. Logan, anytime I can get Patrick Mahomes at plus money, I take it, and I run. I will be taking the Chiefs plus the points. I'll take the money line. I don't care. I don't need your 2 points. Get them out of my face. Take the Chiefs on the money line. They're still undefeated. They've still looked really good. And while the 49ers arguably probably need to win this game more because they're 3-3, just because you need to win a game more doesn't mean anything in the NFL. I'll take the Chiefs. I think Andy Reid, this defense, gets things going, makes life difficult on Brock Purdy, and Patrick Mahomes makes enough plays to win this game. So give me the Chiefs on the money line as my pick in this one. But Logan, what do you like?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going back-to-back unders, which is never a crowd pleaser, but I like the under in this one. I see your angle. I just don't want to. I think this is more of a coin flip game, and I'm not really interested in that. In a coin flip type game, I think both these defenses come to play, though. You mentioned, San Francisco needs this one. Yeah, heck yeah, they need it. And what are they going to lean on? They're going to lean on their defense in that one. They're going to have to stop Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, etc., and all the little gadget plays that Andy Reid's probably going to throw in at them. I think they have the athletes to still be able to do that. And then on the other side, Kansas City's defense is pretty much, to me, what's making them elite. This is why they are undefeated. Their defense doesn't slip up in spots like this. Facing a Niners offense that, again, what the heck is going on with the running back position? I mean, that's just that's a hot mess right now. Down so many bodies there, and then again, you're going to rely on Kittle to once again try to feast. I don't really see it. I think Kansas City has the athletes to be able to take that away as well. They have a great linebacking core, great defensive front. Yeah, I think this is a battle in the trenches, and I think it's going under 47.5.
I do like that under a lot. Patrick Mahomes in this offense has not looked great. Their defense has been carrying him. Hopefully the defense carries us to a 2-0 day in that one. Let's move to some primetime games. Sunday night football. You're waiting all night for Sunday night as the New York Jets are on the road in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. I hate this game, but I will take the Steelers on the money line. I don't want the points. I want them on the money line. I'm actually hoping this pick loses. I will be honest to you, but I think this is a spot everyone's chasing on the Jets. They always think, oh, they just got this big new weapon and don't want that. He's going to make a big difference. No, the Jets stink and they need to be faded. I hate my own team. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, Russell Wilson and company, get things done at home. Give me them on the money line, and I honestly kind of hope that loses. Logan, what do you like?
You're an idiot for fading your own team in that one. Give me the Jets. Give me Jets money line. If you want to lay the 2, whatever. I'll take a little bit of juice on the Jets anyway in this one. Look, I mean, if you're looking at this matchup, if it was Justin Fields, I might feel a little bit differently about this one. But you are disrupting the chemistry that offense has been having with throwing Russell Wilson in there. I can already see the memes. I close my eyes and I think about them, about, benching Justin Fields, creating a little bit of a controversy that didn't need to be there. And now you've got the Rodgers to Devontae Adams connection back. Garrett Wilson, obviously, still elite. He's going to be, I think he'll still be fed in this offense. And then I liked kind of what the Jets did last week. They got Breece Hall involved. It was week 1 of no Salah anymore. They got Breece Hall involved. Braylon will still be involved in this offense. I think they're going to be able to run the ball, and I think they're definitely going to be able to get their new guy, Devontae Adams, involved. Tell me that he isn't in the lab right now with Aaron Rodgers. They're like, okay, this coverage, we're going. They're already cooking up the plays to beat this Steelers defense. There's a reason why they are road favorites in this one. Give me the Jets. I know they will be public, but the public does win. They've won the last few weeks. I think they win in this spot.
Hey, man, I hope you're right. I honestly don't hate the look. I think the Jets could win that game. I bet them last week. They hurt me. I'm not doing it again. I just can't fall. I hope the Steelers lose. I really do. Man, that's going to be an interesting one. Let's move to Monday Night Football. We got 2 games on. First one will be the Baltimore Ravens heading into Tampa, close to where I live. Buccaneers are only 3.5-point underdogs at home, 49.5-point total. Logan, we both had the Ravens at near the top of our power rankings. Buccaneers were not in there, although the Buccaneers have looked good. Their offense, especially, coming off a 50-piece. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, I'm liking the Ravens, and I will lay the points with them. It comes down to a few things in this one. One, Lamar Jackson owns Florida teams. You don't believe me? Go on StatMuse. Just look at his record. Look at his stats against teams in Florida. He takes an extra step above them. Why? Because he played in Florida himself. He's from Florida. This is a great spot for Lamar Jackson. I think he absolutely shows out. And again, stylistically, what do the Bucs want to do? The Bucs still want to run the ball. They want to use Bucky. They want to use, if Rachaad White's healthy, they want to use him. And now that they have a potential 3-headed backfield now on Tampa Bay. But what do the Ravens do the best? They stop the run. I think they're going to be able to stop the run. I think they're going to be able to use some of their good DBs on stopping Mike Evans, deep shots down the field, stopping Chris Godwin underneath. I think this is a bad matchup for Tampa Bay. I think there's a reason why we see the Ravens catching this many points against a good Bucs defense or a good Bucs team on paper. This one's a bit tricky, but I have to take Baltimore in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to get sharp. I'm taking the under, 49.5. I think people will see the Buccaneers putting up a 50 piece. I'll be like, they can put up points. Ravens, they can put up points. Give me the over. No, this game's going under. I think this is a disaster class from Baker. I don't think they're going to be able to run the football. They're going to put the ball in Baker's hands. And I think this is a Baker, 17 for 34 type game where you just can't complete passes. The Ravens secondary's been better the last few weeks. They obviously sucked the beginning of the year, but been better. And the Buccaneers, they are quick to abandon the run. And I think they will abandon it. And I think putting the ball in Baker's hands won't be the best recipe for success. I think Mike Evans does his job, but I think when you get to the red zone, we see some field goals from the Buccaneers. And if the Ravens do get up like you think, we know this Ravens team, they're just going to start chewing the clock. And this Buccaneers team has really struggled to stop the run. And that's going to be a big difference maker here. Vita Vea on that defensive line. Of years past, it was one of the best rush defenses in the league. This year, they've kind of struggled. I think they'll give up some early first and 5-6 yard carries. I think when you get to the red zone, they'll buckle up and lock in there. But I really do like the under in this game at 49.5. It's a weird one. I don't think a lot of people will be on the under there. I like that one. And then the final game of the weekend, a 9 p.m. start, as we have the Arizona Cardinals hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are road favorites at minus 130 on the money line. Over under at 44.5. Logan, I hate the Cardinals. Am I allowed to say that? I hate them. I think they stink. I want to back them. I want to, but I just don't know if I can get there. But I'll let you lead things off. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, I do not see, I'll be honest with you, I don't see both road favorites winning on Monday night. The parlay payout of a Chargers and Ravens parlay, that stands 0% chance. Come back to this video if that hits, because I'm telling you right now, it's not. Where I think this one goes wrong is I think the Cardinals do get the outright win in this one. They are one of those teams that they just looked dead in the water last week. But I told you, that's one of those spots in Lambeau Field that I really didn't like. Kyler Murray and that offense just doesn't match well against them. But now, once again playing in the desert, this is a Kyler Murray, and hopefully they do get Marvin Harrison back. I think probably
he should be back.
He should be back. So that is a big addition for them. I think they're able to use James Conner a little bit more. They had to abandon the run last week. They really weren't in that game. I think Arizona's defense is better than what they could not be worse than what they saw last week. And again, this Chargers offense is not all that explosive. They are not a run and hide from you type offense. Quentin Johnson, guys like that are not just road warriors. I like the Cardinals in this one. I think that's the sharp spot in Monday night. Give me the Cardinals money line.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be on the over in the first game, the under in the second game. When people zig, I zag. I like the over here. I think if the Cardinals have any chance of winning this game, they have to put up points. Their defense literally sucks. And while I don't think the Chargers offense is like one that goes and lights up the scoreboard, I don't think they need to. I think they'll be able to run the football with J.K. Dobbins, and then they'll be able to pass it. I think they're down maybe some guys like Quentin Johnston. McConkey's injured too. I think Herbert can still make some plays, and I don't think this Cardinals defense is any good. But like you said, I think the Cardinals can put up points here. I don't think the Chargers defense is as good as some people might give them credit. They're obviously coming off a good victory, right? They faced the what's it called, their Broncos last week, and they looked good, but they gave up a lot of points in that second half. Outside of that, I think this is a spot where we see a lot of points here. I think you'll see Kyler Murray running all over the field. A Monday night late game. I think this is the high scoring one. I think each of these teams put up 20 plus points. I like the over to wrap up our video. So, Logan, any final thoughts before we sign out of this fun week 7?
Yeah, I mean, last week, if you were on the sharper sides of a lot of these games, you got killed. I mean, I got steamrolled, thinking like a sharp. Again, NFL is a tricky sport to bet because just when you think you have it all figured out, the games do not go the way you thought. I think we're going to have a really good week, Austin. I'm excited to see how they play out.
Yeah, let's dominate, and we will be back next week. Apologies for posting this on Friday. We're normally live on Wednesdays, but as most of you guys know, I was without power, and we weren't able to record together with Logan. So it's be posted today on Friday. Obviously, if you're watching this later, you can certainly tap into our other videos. We'll have some NFL Best Bets videos live on Saturday, as well as our college football video will be live Friday afternoon. I'll link it on the screen once it is live. You can go tap into that, see your favorite picks in the big slate of college football. Logan, it's been a pleasure. Let's hopefully have another great week, and we'll be back again for week 8 talking about those games. We'll see you then. Peace.